Is convenience your daddy? Join us in our new series, Discovering Robopunk, to find out.
Welcome to Discovering Robopunk. Today we're talking about the purpose of Robopunk and why we made this genre, why we made this book, and why we're spreading this message. I'm Cotton Candy TA, the CEO and founder of Chart Raiders. I'm joined by Alexandra, the COO of Chart Raiders.
Hello, hello.
And Alexandra has helped me write the book, the Chart Raiders book, the novel, the multi-book novel that we're creating. And I came to Alexandra with this idea of Robopunk and told her what it was and asked her to create the world and what it would look like. We kind of both play very interesting roles. Like I created this idea of Robopunk because I can forecast into the future. So the purpose of Robopunk was to see how we can prevent our demise as humanity. You know, we're in the final stages of humanity, the last stage before human extinction. So Robopunk is almost to me like a warning sign. So I put all of those pieces together, presented it to Alexandra, and I said, okay, how do the people in this world live? What does this look like? Because Alexandra is very on the pulse of what humans can do to help fight worlds and things like that. She always has been. So, you know, I kind of defer to Alex to this and say, how do we prevent the demise of humanity through Robopunk, through this idea that freedom of thought is lost? What do we do?
Well, I think that the reason or what creates the framework for freedom of thought to be lost is a misplacement of values. I think as a society, we value convenience too much and it blinds us from what really matters. Part of the human experience is that life is hard, right? We're meant to struggle. We are meant to push ourselves because in struggle is when you really discover who you are and what you're truly capable of. And when we start leaning too hard into convenience, we start removing those mini struggles that humans have to face day to day that are in fact quite healthy and formative things that we need. And your brain is like a muscle. So the less that you work it, the weaker it gets.
Yeah.
And then things that were usually not considered to be hard feel harder all of a sudden.
Yeah. So you're saying we've surrendered to convenience.
Yes.
In a way.
Exactly. Because you would have to have a value of freedom of thought and really unpack and understand what that means. It's not, and understand where the traps lay. And the traps, it's not necessarily some evil corporation that is trying to specifically detach you from the notion of freedom of thought. That's not what it is. They're profit-driven, efficiency-driven. We're in a capitalist society that naturally happens. Anytime you create a hierarchy, someone's trying to get to the top of the hierarchy. We, as the people, as the free people, the masses, call it, we need to be able and do a better job at recognizing and being aware that we are living in this universe that is capitalistic and hierarchy driven. That would be like step one. And then we need to reassess our values and then we can dive super deep. But I'll pause to let you ask me a question.
Yeah. So it really sounds like what you're saying is we've got to start operating outside of the box that people paint us in. And, you know, I think the core message of Robopunk is we're losing the freedom of thought. And so I guess my question would be, you know, humanity is so easily boxed in. Can we prevent this? Is this something that can even be prevented? Let's start there. Is it preventable?
Well, I don't know. We're pretty deep into it. Like, just a reminder that the only way we have Robopunk is that cyberpunk was, in a sense, correct. It had accurately predicted where we go. Yeah. We have already traded off so many things for convenience. It just becomes increasingly difficult to go back. Yeah. And the issue is that, you know, we're focused on things like, we want people to live longer. We want everyone to be able to have food and equal access to education. And those are all great things. And those are amazing goals to have as a society. But we don't realize sometimes the trade-offs that we're giving when we subscribe to these convenience tools, call it, that quote unquote give us our time back.
Yeah, I think the path there, it just looks like we keep going down this path of sacrificing our freedoms to convenience. And how far do we go before we are just sitting in a chamber somewhere on a feeding tube and scientists have found a way to make you live to 150 years, extend our life expectancy? You know, that's not even that far away right now, or and on top of that, then another scientist in another field discovers some kind of chamber you can sit in, and every day that you exist in real time, you live maybe a week or a month in this virtual world or this fantasy world or this neurological world, whatever technology comes to the forefront. But we continue to sacrifice conveniences and continue to push through every rich person, every billionaire in the world wants to find the vitality of life. And, we continue to push down these roads. Like I think, right now, I don't know what the future looks like, but I think Robopunk is humanity's last stand before it's too late. Like you say too late and extinction, like extinction, I think can be defined in many ways. You can say humans went extinct because we're all sitting in chambers somewhere. Are we still flesh sacks and we still have DNA on this planet? Yeah, for sure we do. And for sure we are. Or is extinction that this planet becomes desolate and machines are one day have taken over because we've gotten so weak as a society and as a species that we can't fight them. So like,
well, it's not even about fighting them. We rely on them so heavily that we need
that's
them.
It.
Yeah.
It's that complacency. Robopunk is a final stage of humanity, right? Like this is the last step where we can fight. There is no fight. If Robopunk fails, if the rebellion, the idea that it's Robopunk, if the rebellion against the robots fails, we're ultimately doomed. We may still be here, but this was the last era. And freedom of thinking is the key pathway to that. So like, I always just circle back to this. Like, can we prevent it?
I think there's something really key that would push us in one direction or the other of being able to prevent it or not. We need to collectively be okay with slowing down because we're always trying to find ways to reduce time.
Yeah.
The reality is since the beginning of time, there are things that have to get done throughout the day, period. Though what that list of tasks looks like has changed and evolved over centuries, so right?
It's so true.
But like we're all guilty of it now. I'm guilty of it. When I have to, the thought of having to go to a store instead of just Amazon priming it next day is tough. I'm like, who has time for that anymore? I've literally said it out loud. It's not who has time. The reality is that my list of things that I have for the day that would qualify, if I complete that list, I'm like, this was a good day, I was productive, has quadrupled compared to what it used to be.
I think anybody listening to this can just think of that question for themselves and be like, oh my God, she's right.
Well, yeah. And so it's not, and that's because of the fast pace of our society and what we expect. And we're all guilty of it too. Go travel somewhere where there's not a fast food restaurant open 24/7. You're pissed off. You're swearing. What a stupid place. Who wants to live here? We judge it. But to uphold that type of convenience, because that's a form of convenience, there's a trade-off. There's always a trade-off. So you cannot subscribe to a fast life and fight this. Honestly, you can't. So
I think that's how you fight it. I think it's you start taking a stand against the expectation that not only your boss puts on you, that the world puts on you, the expectation to know, like, we've got to get away with supplementing work to answers, because that is freedom of thought. And that's exactly what we talk about.
And that's that's how we're trapped. That's where we stay trapped. Because people are trapped in the sense that you need your salary. We need a source of income. You need to feed your family, right? So it's not, you can say, yes, I want to slow down all you want. If your boss is spam texting you, where are you? I need you to stay late today, all these things. If not, you're literally worried you might get fired.
No.
You'll never be able to slow down. There will never be enough hours in the day. And regardless of how convenient everything else gets, the expectation will only be more on the other side. So you as a human are only ever getting less time.
For me, my first step in fighting it, because the question is, how can you prevent it?
Yeah.
For me, it's doing the hard work to protect yourself. So what happens to me in my brain when I say that is I start thinking about my cell phone, stop accepting every privacy policy out there. Every time you click OK on a privacy policy, you are feeding the machine, you are giving more data, you are inadvertently helping the machine kill freedom of thought by giving them more data to know where to attack next. So you got it. People out there have to do the work. They have to say, like, hey, maybe Windows and Mac aren't the right operating systems, and Linux, because it's privacy focused, maybe that makes more sense in today's world where everything is tracked and I'm sold ads based on my preferences, my location, and only things that are within a reasonable reach that fit a certain price bracket on items that I would typically pay for. That's, you got to think about, get yourself a Linux machine. You got to think about, go de-Google your phone and put something like graphene on it. Go get a de-Googled phone. Stop subscribing to these easy pathways. Stop clicking accept on every single cookie policy. So it's just these little tiny micro nuances that we have to, as a society, be aware of the power we give when corporations and technology is constantly asking something from us. If your technology is asking something from you, you're already cooked.
Yeah.
Technology shouldn't be asking us questions. It is there to serve us, not to take from us. It's not meant to take our data. Now, I understand this is the way computers work, but there's predatorial taking and then there's functional technology taking, right? Those are two different things. So preventing it for me is starting to do the hard work, and that's freedom of thought 101. Do the hard work so you can have the right to choose.
If something's being positioned as a magic pill, magic fix, I would just stay away from it. You can compare this to dieting and the whole health industry. You know, you have all of these rich people taking Ozempic. It's shameful and embarrassing.
Yeah.
Shameful and embarrassing because you stop trying to substitute some kind of magic quick fix.
Yeah, I agree.
To something that just needs to be done. Life is not meant to be given to you on a silver platter. And if you're expecting that, then we'll end up there. And that's where people's ideas have to change.
That's where we're headed. And it's not just technology. Like I said, it's also biological, like you said. It's not any one thing. It's all of them collectively. And that's, you know, unfortunately, this is what Robopunk is, and this is the stage of humanity we're in. I don't think people realize we're at the precipice of potential extinction.
Yeah, you're fighting your own mental laziness, honestly, if you want to quick say it fast. Fight your mental lazies.